And
Maybe it would be better to put our microphone in mute, no?
Maybe. Oh, what, sorry?
Maybe it would be fine to put my microphone in mute, no?
Yes. First, I can introduce myself a little. And so, yes, my name is Abby, and I've been working with this company, Les Langues, since the beginning I think, since 2019. So, yes. And I don't know if any of my... yes, I think one of my students is here, Silva, I think. And so, yes. Does anybody have any questions before I begin?
Where do you come from, Abby?
From England, in the UK.
Where? In London?
From Bournemouth in the south of England.
Okay. On Sunday, I go to London for 2 weeks.
Nice. Very, very lucky.
Yeah, to learn English and also to visit London because I don't know London.
Nice. For work or pleasure? Oh, just for pleasure.
No, do you know EF education?
No.
Yeah. It's a little course or training. We'll have 4 hours per day to learn, and after that we can visit London or Cambridge for the weekend. It's very good for 2 weeks. Yeah, and I don't know London. I know Birmingham, Cambridge, Oxford, but not London.
Okay. It will be a good experience for you.
Yeah. I'm very happy.
Perfect. So I think everybody should be connected by now, hopefully. So yes, I will begin the presentation, and yes, you can put the microphones on mute. But if you have questions during the presentation, you can write in the chat, and yes, maybe if we have time, we can talk a little. And okay, so yes, if everybody puts their microphone on mute, and I will begin. But just any questions, just write in the chat during the presentation. And okay, I will share the presentation. And okay, 1 second. Okay, can everybody see the presentation? Or does anybody, if anybody has a problem, you can write in the chat.
It's okay for me. Yeah.
And yes, if you have problems hearing me or different things, you can just write in the chat. And okay, so this presentation is the blueprint to successful compensation negotiations, which we will see more information about now. Today we will see a brief introduction, some vocabulary and expressions, the strategies. So yes, the strategies that you can use. And 1 second, I'm just going to change this. It will be easier for me. And okay. And then lastly, there are some role-playing scenarios which you can use. You can use for yourselves at your home. And okay, so firstly, the introduction. So yes, it says, in the world of work, one of the most delicate and important conversations is about compensation and benefits. It's not just about numbers, but also about the value we bring to the company and how the value is recognized. So yes, when we are talking about compensation and benefits, yes, this is to ask your boss or to ask your employer for benefits such as health or leisure, different things. And just the compensation can be to ask for more money. So yes, for example, the objective of today's class is to equip learners with the necessary vocabulary and expressions to confidently discuss compensation and benefits. We often use the expression asking for a raise. Asking for a raise means to ask for more money at your job. So yes, with their employers, as well as providing strategies to successfully negotiate. First, yes, we can see the vocabulary and expressions. If you want, you can open an application such as Depot. Depot is a translator, or you can open Google Translate, and you can write down different vocabulary, and after the class you can have a list, or if you prefer on paper, with pen and paper, you can write your list of new vocabulary. Firstly, here we have the vocabulary. So for example, to discuss, earning, yes, the noun, or you can use to earn as the verb. In English, we have the verb to win, but the verb to win is in the context of a casino, if you win money at the casino. If it's for your job, we use to earn money. Willingness, benefits, and to increase. So yes, you have the translation below. After this, yes, you can start the discussion with your boss or your employer. For example, I'd like to discuss my current compensation, or to set the context, given my contributions and the current market rates, or to open a dialogue. I've been reflecting on my role and would like to explore potential adjustments to my compensation package. So yes, normally a compensation package is a package that's given to you from a big employer. So yes, normally if you are working with a big company, you will have special benefits. If you work for a small company, maybe there are no special benefits included. After this, you can talk about your salary to your employer. So for example, I am currently earning, the word we saw previously, to compare with the market rate. According to my research, positions similar to mine are compensated at. So yes, often it's very good if you see the salaries of other jobs, and you can explain to your employer the average salary for my job is this quantity, and my salary is below this quantity. So yes, if you do your research, normally it's a positive point according to my research. And finally, to provide additional data in addition to my current salary, I've noted that the industry average for my role is. So yes, this one is similar to the previous one. Finally, we have to discuss additional benefits. But yes, like I said before, if you work for a small company, sometimes it's not very common to have a benefits package. So yes, to highlight the importance, benefits are a crucial part of the total compensation package. But yes, sometimes the benefits can include extra holiday, or in France, you have restaurant tickets to go to restaurants. To emphasize personal value, I believe an improved benefits package would not only benefit me, but also contribute to my overall job satisfaction and performance. So yes, I think the benefits are very important, and it's a good thing to discuss. The next one is to ask for a raise. So to ask for a raise means to ask for more money in your salary. To present the reasons, considering my achievements and added responsibilities. To be specific, I was hoping we could discuss a percentage increase, and to elaborate on achievements. So yes, normally it's good to discuss personal achievements. And the example here is I've successfully completed several key projects, and I believe a salary adjustment would reflect both my current contributions and future potential. Responding to feedback. So yes, if we have ways to respond to the feedback from our boss or our employer, our manager, if the feedback is positive, we can say I appreciate, and then after I appreciate, we can use an expression. I appreciate your understanding and willingness to discuss this. If facing hesitation, you can try to understand your boss or manager, because maybe there is a reason. I understand your concerns, and then after you can continue with, for example, can we discuss a timeline or milestones for revisiting this topic? Sorry, I have many comments here which I didn't see. Compensation. Let's see, compensation in this context could be different things, but yes, mostly we are talking about the salary. But yes, it could also be, for example, a bonus. A bonus could be a type of compensation. And after this, remuneration, I would have to double check the specific. But in French, I think you also have the same. Somebody's written salaire, rémunération. But yes, after I can double check. And let's see if I missed this page. So yes, to address concerns directly, I acknowledge your reservations. Could we work together to identify areas where I can further demonstrate my value to the team? So yes, if it's not possible to have compensation in forms of a salary increase, or for example a bonus or different benefits, you can ask where you can add value and try to be positive for the future. Finally, we have this exercise. So if you remember from the first page, we have the vocabulary. So if you need to copy something, you can. And okay, so here we have the exercise. So yes, each person can complete the exercise on paper, or yes, you can choose. So you have the words here: earning, benefits, willingness, discuss, and increase. So yes, each person can have 1 or 2 minutes to complete this exercise. Increase the translation. The translation is in French is commenter. Okay, but don't write, or if you want to write the answers, you can write the answers in the chat. But if you don't want to look, don't look. But yes, you can write the answers in the chat. So number 1, to introduce the subject, I'd like to, and yes, number 1 is to discuss. And number 2, to discuss the current salary. I am currently, if somebody wants to write number 2 in the chat. Yes, number 2 is earning. Yes, good, perfect. Number 3, to highlight the importance. So yes, number 3 is benefits. Yes, benefits are a crucial part of the total compensation package. And to be specific, so yes, I was hoping we could discuss an X% increase. And number 5, the last one, if the feedback is positive, I appreciate your understanding and willingness to discuss this. So yes, it's perfect. And but after the class, you can have access to the presentation. Next, we will see the strategies. So we can see the best strategies to discuss. So yes, can anybody think of any strategies of how to talk about work benefits? Some of them we have seen on the previous pages. So if you want, you can write one strategy in the chat if you can think of one strategy. But yes, we have already seen a few of the strategies. And okay, I think yes, there's none at the moment. But yes, number 1, we have do your research. So yes, the first strategy to take into account is to do your research, know the industry standards. So for example, to understand the company's financial situation is important. After this, it's it's a good strategy by Janseline is the pronunciation, and so what's the pronunciation? Sorry.
Janseline, c'était bien. It's perfect. It's perfect.
So yes, to talk about your results, which is on this one. So yes, on this slide is important to have a reason as to why you should be given a salary increase or different benefits. Yes, first of all, Sylvain has said, first of all, prepare your appointment, speaking about results to introduce the benefits. So yes, it's true, which is similar to this slide. to talk about your results, quantify your successes, use figures and statistics when possible. So yes, to talk about your achievements and how this is connected to your company's success. After this, it's important to be open to negotiation. So for example, maybe an immediate raise isn't feasible. Feasible is another word for possible. So yes, maybe the raise is not possible at the moment, but you can discuss different benefits, maybe a bonus, maybe more holiday, or different things. And maybe you can make an appointment to discuss the same matter in the future, in 3 months or in 6 months, etc. And okay, we have good timing. So yes, I believe this one is an important one. Choose a time when the company has successes, preferably ones you contributed to. So yes, don't choose a time when the company has financial strain. Or after a negative review would probably not be the best time. The next one is be prepared to listen. So yes, listen to the feedback. Listen to the feedback from your boss or your manager. Think about things that you can improve in your job. And yes, be willing to listen. Understand that there might be valid reasons for their hesitation. Be willing to hear their feedback. And potentially negotiate or revisit the conversation in the future. And here I have some role play scenarios. So yes, I have different scenarios which you can use. So yes, there are here role play scenarios for self-practice. There's no direct interaction, but the students can practice these with their peers. Peers means normally your colleagues. So yes, these are ideas which you can use with your colleagues, maybe your friends, etc. Scenario number 1 is to ask for a raise after successfully completing a major project. So yes, it's a good time to ask for a raise. You can specify your achievements. You can quantify the results with statistics. So yes, preferably when you ask for a raise, it should be after you have done something successful. Number 2 is to discuss the addition of benefits such as extended health coverage or educational reimbursements. So yes, for many jobs, they can include private health coverage, or they can include education to further your career. So yes, maybe if the raise is not possible, you can ask your employer to study English, for example, to study English or to study something specific for your job. Finally, it says responding to feedback that now might not be the right time for a raise and negotiating a future review. So yes, in the first section of the presentation, we saw the expressions which you can use. So yes, there were many expressions which you can use to reply to feedback and help to negotiate in the future. So yes, these ideas are for self-practice. So yes, with with a friend or a colleague. You can try to practice the expressions from the presentation. So yes, you can download the presentation and use the expressions to remember them. Finally, we have the conclusion and the takeaways from today. So number 1, compensation discussions are not just about money, but recognizing one's value. So yes, the most important thing to remember is not just to ask for money, but to make your employer or your boss to understand your hard work, what you do, your results, etc. Number 2 is equip yourself with the right vocabulary and do your research. So yes, the vocabulary from today's presentation should be useful. If you have a foreign employer, it could be very useful to use some of the expressions to negotiate with your boss. And finally, always approach the discussion with understanding and a willingness to negotiate. So yes, it's important to understand maybe it's not the right time for the business to go to give you a raise. Maybe there is a problem in the company, so you can try to negotiate with different benefits, or you can try to organize the discussion for the future, and you can talk about the benefits or the raise in the future with your employer. And so yes, this is today's presentation, and the last slide is questions and answers, Q&A. So yes, if anybody wants to ask me a question now, you can ask me. You can ask me in person. It's not necessary to write. If anybody has questions about...
I have a question, for example. It's Geraldine. I can... okay. I show my face. Just to have your different advice when you are looking for a new job and you have an appointment with your potential future manager. Do you think it's better to speak about these money questions at the first appointment, or do you think it's better to wait the second appointment when you know before that there will be several appointments with the future manager?
Yes, I think it depends. For example, if you are sure that in the interview process that you will have 2 or 3 interviews, then maybe it's best to ask on the second or third interview. Normally, I try to use the first interview to understand about the company, their values, what they want from me, and different things. But yes, if you, for example, if the company needs somebody very urgently, maybe they know they want you in the first interview, and maybe in that type of situation, I would talk about the salary in the first interview. But yes, maybe somebody has a different perspective on that issue.
Yes, it could be interesting because I think, like you, Abby, it depends on the specific context, if there is an emergency or not. in my experience, I had this situation a few months ago, and during the first interview, there is no second interview, but during the first interview, I did not speak about this specific element, and the recruiter,
Yes.
the recruiter didn't speak about this element too.
Okay. And
Okay.
and we can phrase it in a polite way. For example, we have the expression in English, I was wondering. So you can say, I was wondering, it's in the chat. I was wondering, and then you can complete with what you want to ask. For example, I was wondering if we could discuss the salary today, or would it be better next time, for example. So yes, you can. I think if you ask in a polite way, it's not a problem, I think.
Thank you.
And does anybody else have any questions about the expressions or anything else related today?
Not for me. It seems okay. So now I have everything I need to ask for a pay rise to my manager, I think.
That's perfect. Well, yes, it was nice to meet all of you today. And yes, I think it was just one of my students here today, but it was nice to see some different faces. So yes, it was a good experience for me. And if anybody needs anything about the information from the presentation, you can email the team, or you can email me. You can write my email in the chat. 1 second. And so yes, my email is in the chat. Or if you have any questions about England or Bournemouth, my city. England or Bournemouth. So yes, that's the end, and yes, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.